This is our Behringer, it's a USB sound card. In case the headphone jack on your computer stops working, this can go out of your USB, and then you can bring sound out through the aux port. This is for your knowledge of understanding what this device, all the devices have a purpose. So this is an aux connection. It's going from there into the soundboard. The soundboard, see that says 5.6? You see that? 5.6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes vertical, and this controls your EQ. Okay, these channels are good for things like computers, right? These are good for microphones, right? And you, yeah, all four of those are good for microphones or guitars, and these are good for computers. Okay, so you follow straight down. This is your volume control on this channel. So with this control, I control the volume on that channel, right? Okay, I wanted a volume where people are getting in a good mood, but not feeling like it's so loud they can't hear each other. This is during Kabbalat Panim. Okay, this is my master volume. So let's say, so that means, if I, Alice, do you know this information?
Yeah.
Okay, if I turn this down, it's going to turn on all the channels, right?
I know that.
So now, this is the microphone, right? My microphone is connected here. If I have the microphone up, of course this microphone also has an on-off switch, okay? Okay, so there's multiple ways. If you think of like a dam, a river with dams, so you can dam the river at multiple points, and then you can also just, here you can dam the whole river, right? So with a master, it's gonna turn off all of them, even if these are on, right? Let's say I had another computer plugged in here, right? I could control each computer separately through the individual channel volumes.
They keep on turning it on and off, on and off.
I could control all of them here, right?
If you made this one lower right now, what will happen?
This will turn everything off. Like that. Okay, we refer to these are called knobs. Some mixers have sliders. You might have seen sliders. Like this is a virtual slider, right? Sliders. These are emulating knobs, right? Okay. So there, Alice, you asked about questions on this. This is effects. So you can put an effect on the channel, which here you see that says FX, and this tells you which effects you have on there. So if I wanted to put like a vocal echo, right? Let's say I'm putting on my microphone and I want to say, when somebody says welcome, it'll say welcome, 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 right? Depending on how wet or dry I have the effect. Alice, you listening? You know about this stuff? Okay, so that's the effects. Usually I don't use effects when I'm DJing from here. If I'm doing like a really exciting dance round, I'll put on the effects in here. These are also effects. Okay, so this is the virtual DJ software. This is your master. I would only really turn off the master if, like, let's say I'm getting feedback and I don't know where it's coming from. I would turn this off because I don't want feedback to go out of control. Feedback is produced when you have a microphone pointing at where the output is on the speaker. It's creating what's called a feedback loop. In other words,
like that screeching kind of.
Yeah, that's called feedback. That screeching kind of sound.
Instead of like turning each one off, you just.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll have like a wireless mic plugged. This is a small event, right? But if I'm doing a big event, I've got like somebody who's like working the crowd, right? And let's say Elish is out there and he's running a game, and I have a microphone here to make announcements, and I hear a feedback. If I don't know which channel it's coming from, then I'll just kill all the sound. It's like a last resort. Okay, now what else do you have in a channel? You have the, well, this has high, mid, and low. Okay, these are called EQ. On the computer channels, you just have high and low. But if you listen to, can you turn the speaker towards us? Okay, so you hear the music, right? Watch what happens when I turn up the low. Listen to what happens. You hear that? Now turn the low down. The different frequencies, yeah. Now the low is up. Feel it in your gut. It's taking different frequencies of sound and cutting them out, right? And if I turn up the high, you'll hear the guitar more. If you think of how this music is produced by a band, you have, well, this is actually just a guitar, but there's low strings on a guitar, high strings on a guitar. So now I have just the highs. now the lows. Okay, so that's the EQ. I also have EQ here. I can do the same thing here with my low here. On here I click it and go up to increase the lows, or move my finger down to decrease the lows. So that's in a sense a matter of taste when it comes to the music. When it comes to the microphone, right, I want to remember this is 12 o'clock, right? 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, right? Generally, right, the position of where that little indicator is, I want it so that the voice sounds pretty much like a human voice would sound, right? So to get that kind of a sound, I'm gonna have to play with this. I'm gonna have to have the highs up a little bit. If I have the highs too high, it's gonna make kind of a sound that's unpleasant. If I make the lows too high, bring up the low too much, then it's gonna sound very bassy and muddled. If I have the highs high, then it's very sensitive to feedback. So I don't want to have the highs high. Generally, I'm going to have it a little bit like this. The highs a little bit maybe towards 11 o'clock, the mediums more towards like 1 o'clock, and the lows around the middle. And then I'll hear how the sound goes. Now, again, with feedback, if I have this on, if I have the mic on, and I have this on, and I have this on, and these are pointing at each other, it's going to feedback. It's going to, the signal from there is going to pick up here. It's going to come through the soundboard, right, from the microphone. It's going to come through the soundboard. It's going to come, in other words, into the soundboard here, and out through these cables, out to the speakers, and it's just going to keep amplifying it. So the smallest little sound that we would hear is going to be amplified, sent out, and coming back into here, back out there. I mean, we can't see this, but that's the process of creating feedback. It's just going to make it louder and louder. Anything that would be even almost silent for us. Okay, so that's a little bit about this.